Hello, and welcome to The Devoted Golfer. My name's Woody Lashen, and my guest today is Ralph Riechert from OBAN Chefs.
Nice to see you, Woody.
Good to see you, Ralph.
Thank you.
Ralph, tell us a little bit what's going on with OBAN here.
Thanks. We're at the 2018 PGA show and just excited to be here again. Great opportunity for us because we have two significant launches this year that we're bringing out. And this is our opportunity to meet with our valued dealers and explain what we've done, why we've done it, and how it's going to bring benefit to your players. Just wanted to touch base real briefly on OBAN. We did a nice in-depth interview last year, so you can review that one for the in-depth story. But we're all about brand promise. This is the launch we had at the 2017 PGA show, the CT-100, a Japanese steel shaft that's just done really well for us, above our expectations. But it's all about using the best materials for shafts, and then working with the best in the manufacturing process. In this case, Shimada, and it's like I said, it's been beyond our expectation for what it's delivered.
For those of you who don't know, by the way, OBAN started out as a graphite shaft company.
Yes,
and just got into steel.
Last year was our first introduction into steel. 2008 was the first PGA show that we did, and that was when we launched our company. And our view then was create the best in graphite, do what we could to deliver outstanding performance and different profiles to match the current club heads and what players have been working on to improve their game. So the steel was an introduction, but it kind of goes to the brand promise that we have, and also the nature that we deliver that brand promise, which is through the premier fitters. We rely on the best fitters in the industry to amplify our story and explain why it's different, why it's better. We're really, we want to grow every year like everyone wants to grow every year, but we're not about volume. We're really about if we take care of that player and they understand and they get a great experience from it, they're going to tell their friend who's going to tell their friend and build it that way. So that's what we're about. And when we talk about exclusive, that's what we mean. We rely on people who have invested heavily in this industry, the high-end fitters, not only in equipment, in demos, but in the education of how that all fits together, so they can build that trust with their players, and they're going to feel confident of spending the money that it takes to get into an OBAN. We're not inexpensive, but we're a great value for the dollar spent.
I would say, performance is the ultimate value, and you guys are trying to give the ultimate value in the best possible performance, and a lot of that goes into the materials and building something, and not trying to mass produce and to have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of SKUs that maybe they're not as consistent.
Exactly it. Designed to endure. What we mean by that is, and this is just an example of a fitting wall in one of our dealers. The idea is when you go into the fitting, you can say, have I been able to try everything to optimize what I'm about to buy in a club head, driver, iron. The investment in demos is a big part of it. From our standpoint, rather than redesign the Devotion or the Kyoshi White or the Kyoshi Gold, those have been just phenomenal designs. The materials that are used and the performance that we're providing for them has been exceptional. And our sales on each one of these continue to rise each year. So instead of putting new graphics on one of them, we pick another shaft profile to develop, to fit in, to offer another option for your fitting process, and for we view it as a customer of one. We talked about it last year.
Oh, absolutely.
We're interested in giving them the best experience and you the best tools to be able to do that.
Well, as a fitter, having all the right tools, the customer can't hit. How many drives can you hit in a driver session? But if we have all the choices and we get them going, we can go right away. Okay, we know you fit this profile. Here we go. Here's the Kyoshi Gold. This is what's going to work best for you. We'll try a different weight or something like that. But if you don't have those options, you can't give somebody what they might truly need. Mm-hmm. And to that point, you got a new option for us this year at Graphite.
Yes, we do. And we're using, we had mentioned we're at the 2018 PGA show. Huge fan of this. Demo day, which was on Monday, which allows people to come out and try the product for the first time. Our new graphite, we we are introducing it at the show, kind of a sneak preview, and launching it in April. And then on the show floor to be able to have discussions and really educate people on what the value is. So the first one we've talked about is AirBurst. AirBurst is significant for us. It's a unique partnership with an Olympic company limited in Japan. And we're excited about this partnership, and this has been a partnership 3 years in the development. We have very similar philosophies. Make the best. Use the best materials. Just make the best product possible. So we've taken our experience on tour, our experience working with dealers and seeing the profile that we wanted. We came to Olympic and said, we would like to design this, develop this for the U.S. and Japan market together, which is somewhat unique. Japan generally has products unique to them. OBAN has products or unique to the U.S. We're able to combine them. And our thought was, okay, do we want to try to sell a lot of these, or do we want to just try to show what we could do? And that's what this is a demonstration of. It's an expensive shaft. This is the most expensive shaft that we're going to introduce. But the materials that we're able to use, so far, yeah, we've got some ideas. Limit,
exactly.
Right?
I mean, this is we didn't know you'd even have something like this, and now you're always trying to push the limit. Something I love about OBAN.
Right.
Right. You found Olympic. You found something. Hey, we can do something. We can maybe go a different level. I love it. So don't say that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Because you're always trying to improve.
Yes, always trying to improve. And the unique thing about Olympic and where they go, they're also in very high end fishing rods, which similar to graphite shafts, and even from the standpoint of once you get to the tip sections of those fishing rods, you really need strength and lightweight material to be able to do that. So they have a unique relationship with Toray and getting some very unique materials and a lot of R&D efforts to come up with different materials to make the performance better.
If you don't know who Toray is, but that's raw materials.
Yeah,
so
raw material
they're the best raw materials you can get.
Out of Japan, exactly. So this is entirely Japanese in the material and the manufacturing. And what Olympic has really focused on is being able to make lightweight, stronger material. And what they've done is they've used less resin, which is sort of the filler, and they've used more carbon elements, graphite elements into their fibers. So with that percentage, you're getting more. The carbon is more, and graphite is more of the strength muscle of the shaft. The resin is more of the filler or the fat. So by having more fiber, you're getting a stronger material, and you can go thinner. In being able to produce that, it's easier to roll shafts and produce shafts with a higher grade of resin because it's easier to roll. It's more difficult to roll it once you're doing it with more fiber, and that's really what they've perfected.
You need a great chef to put together. You have the ingredients, and the chef's got to put those ingredients together.
It is, and going through, we had the. We've toured their facility and all the little things that they've done just to perfect that process and just make each shaft a really high quality performance tool is it fits our model and what we've been after from day one. So we're excited about AirBurst. Performance wise, we test this on tour. We tested it on tour first, and our tour reps usually will get feedback. We had the profile we wanted. We provided it to Olympic, and they took their time and really did a good job on it. We put it in our tour reps' hands, and it was immediate that they came back to us and said, we have to launch this. Even if we don't, and it's expensive. It's expensive to bring it for tour. Even if you couldn't afford to bring it to tour, you have to launch this and allow people to play it. And our view, I mean, it's probably going to be a $700 shaft when we launch it. And for a lot of people, that's expensive to play for a shaft.
It's not for everybody.
Right, not everyone's going
to.
But
and it won't fit everybody either, folks. Remember, that's important, right? Just because, I want this AirBurst shaft, I don't mind what it costs. We got to make sure it's the right profile for you because it may not be. Exactly.
And that's the exclusive nature that we have with our dealer network. They've built up a trust. We built up a trust with them. They built up with the trust for the player. We don't want anyone put into one of our shafts that doesn't really fit them well. But you got to try to hit this. Hit this, try this, see what it feels like, how it's good. It's remarkable.
We're really excited about this. And I'm also really excited about the other thing that you introduced at the show here.
Thank OBAN Steel. We're launching the CT-100. Last year we launched the CT-115, and it's a unique unique profile in a steel shaft. The launch characteristics: mid to high launch, low to mid spin. Shimada, when in making the shaft, again out in Japan, Japanese steel, Japanese production, Japanese chroming, but it's extruded, so it's billet steel pulled into a tube and then formed into a shaft. So there's no seam on the shaft. It's not rolled and seamed in some way. It's extruded. Inherent strength properties, and what we've heard back from our dealers, when we go through a testing process, we go through extensive testing on tour, in R&D section. But the ultimate test is once we get in all of our dealers' hands, because we get so much feedback as far as what it performs. And the feedback we got from this is special. Again, once it fits someone, it just dials in dispersion and distance control. So you're just able to hit more greens, which is what everyone's trying to do with a shaft.
One of the things that people don't realize is there's only a handful of places in the world you could have a steel shaft made. So it's not like, I can go open my own steel facility, and then to find a super high quality steel shaft, it's even more difficult. So Shimada's been in the steel business forever, but they don't have stuff that really has worked well for our market, because the Japanese market is different, and they don't have the design, and so you kind of came to them and said, hey, we've got a design, we've got what we want to try and do, and you work together with them to create this, and now adding a second weight,
yes,
really gives more flexibility. And what you're doing with the blanks, talk to them a little bit about like how you've got all these flexes here.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing to create those? I mean, that's way more flexes than
Right.
you see from most shaft companies.
So the concept is, people have gone through hard stepping and soft stepping as they're taking a shaft, and you wanted to tweak it a little bit, make it a little stronger, make it a little weaker to try to fit somebody. But you always had to double up on a shaft to be able to do that. What we've done in each one of these, there's 13 different lengths of shafts that a good builder then puts into the sequence that's required to get these flexes. So for the 115, we're able to do from an R to an X, and 7 flexes in that range. The CT-100 is unique in that we start with an A and go to an S, but it's similar launch and spin characteristics to the 115. A lower spinning lightweight shaft is hard to find. And what players, and I'm in one of those groups, I know that as I might be getting a little bit older, I need to pick up a little bit of swing speed, probably drop down a little bit of weight. But I love steel, and I love the flight characteristics of just what I'm used to playing. This provides that. It gives you that low spin option in lightweight, where people have had to go to almost graphite once they get down into that range, because while this says CT-100, that's the weight of the raw lengths. Plain weight in this is really 88 for an A flex, up to a 98 for a stiff flex. And what we're hearing from the testing that's been done on this, because we put this in our dealers' hands about 3 months ago, is that they're getting ball speed numbers without increasing swing speed, which means there's better smash factor. People are hitting it square and getting more efficiency out of the way that club head is returning to the ball. So it's new, it's brand new, just being offered to the consumers. We're really excited about how this helps people's game.
Well, it's a great extra fitting option. With the more options we have, the better job we can do. Now we've got 2 shafts in that family. It's going to help us get into more golfers.
Yeah, and we're into graphite as well. Once we get below this comes into our graphite range, which is a very, very good graphite shaft. But this gives a complete fitting option within OBAN that we're excited about. Our next year, we're probably going to be talking about the heavier weight option that just fits into this and completes that cycle.
Keep growing the family. But I'm excited about the CT-100.
Thank you.
Ralph, thanks for spending a little bit of time with us. It's always great to talk to you.
Woody, thank you so much.
Maybe we'll see you next year.
Appreciate it.
And folks, thanks for watching The Devoted Golfer.